Recently, 5 million rands was awarded to the top BEE Fintech startups in the country by Merrill, Lynch, South Africa and Royal Bafokeng Holdings. And the prize money was awarded to the companies that succeeded in their pitch to Merrill Lynch and AlphaCode, who sought to identify high-potential South African fintech entrepreneurs whose businesses catalyze the development of the industry in the country. Dominique Collett is the Senior Investment Executive at Rand Merchant Investments, which AlphaCode is a part of. And she is with us on the show to talk about this pitching business and the companies that won the 5 million rands. And Dominique, pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much for asking me into the show.
Sure. Just briefly give me the history, the background of this competition where 5 companies ultimately won 5 million rands.
Great. So it's an initiative that's run by AlphaCode. AlphaCode is part of the Rand Merchant Investment Holding stable. So obviously Rand Merchant Investments is the company behind Discovery and Outsurance. So we've got a long history of funding entrepreneurs. So our tagline is identify, partner and grow great entrepreneurs. So we actually formed a partnership with Bank of America Merrill Lynch, who channel enterprise development spend every year. So they approached us and said, you are seeing the top fintech companies in South Africa. So we'd like to partner with you to find the high impact black fintech companies in South Africa and provide enterprise development spend. So how the competition works is we go out and we call for applications to high impact black fintech businesses. We narrow down the applications and then we held an event where 11 businesses were invited to pitch. And that's how we eventually chose the 5.
And fintech, we're talking about technology companies that service the financial services sector in particular, is that it?
Correct.
Yeah.
We're talking about businesses that use technology to address financial services.
Yes.
And we think that's very important because they're leveraging technology to address a segment of the population that may not have had access to financial services before. So it's a very important investment theme of ours.
So what were you looking for in these companies, besides the technology itself? But I'm sure there are certain business considerations that went into determining the finalists.
There's actually 3 things we look for. The first one is we like to understand the industry opportunity. So we like to understand, are they actually exploring an opportunity that is sizable? The second thing is we look at how are they attacking that industry opportunity. So what is the unique business model? And that business model is a combination of technology, it's a combination of value proposition, it's a combination of marketing. So it's how those things are packaged together to actually attack the opportunity. And then most importantly, we look at the team. So we look at the passion of the entrepreneurs, we look at the experience of the entrepreneurs, and we look at the way that they think about it.
Okay. So there were 11 and you whittled them down to 5, right?
Correct.
So, and they had to do whatever they were doing in 5 minutes?
Correct.
You guys are hectic. So in 5 minutes, what sort of information and detail did you want to establish from this? I mean, and were you able to get a sense of the enthusiasm and passion for what they were doing?
So actually, before the evening, they had to submit a comprehensive business plan. So the 11 businesses that were invited to the evening submitted a comprehensive business plan, which explained the idea. It gave us a sense of the financials and the revenue. And then on the evening, they had to explain their business in 5 minutes. And again, it's in those 3 things.
All right, let's look at the companies now, 5 of them, right?
Yes.
Just talk me through them and tell me how they impressed you.
Sure. So the first one was Stokfeller. What we were really excited about Stokfeller is they're using technology to formalize the Stokvel community. So obviously Stokvels are a part of the South African community, they're part of South African culture, but where Stokfeller is introducing is a messaging platform and a technology platform to help formalize that community. So it allows them to congregate together, it allows them to make decisions, and ultimately to sell savings investment products into that community. What's really interesting about that business, though, is how they've been able to capture the community spirit of a Stokvel into this app. So I think that's a really beautiful thing. The entrepreneurs behind Stokfeller are high energy, they're super enthusiastic, and they really understand their market. So we loved Stokfeller. The user experience of the app is also a really good one. So that was the first business. The second business was eFactor. What we really liked about eFactor, it's addressing one of the biggest issues we have in South Africa, which is working capital for SMEs. So what we all know is that SMEs in South Africa struggle with cash flow issues.
Nobody wants SMEs in South Africa. I wonder why. I actually feel sorry for them all the time because that's where the main action is, isn't it? In terms of employment creation and so forth. But the challenge that you are just about to talk about is one of the main hurdles. So Talk me through that one.
Exactly, and actually what we believe fundamentally is that if we can get the SME segment in South Africa going, we're going to see rapid growth in the South African economy overall. So what eFactor is doing is that it's actually allowing invoices that the SMEs have been issued by, for example, SAB or Anglo-American, so big corporates who are creditworthy, to be issued onto a platform so that other people can buy them.
Yes.
So what happens is an SME gets a contract with SAB Miller and they put on payment terms for like 90, 120 days.
Yes.
There's no reason why SAB is going to default on that invoice. But an SME that has to wait 90 or 120 days can go out of business.
Yes.
So what it allows the SME to do is to get cash flow upfront and to continue the business and for other people to participate in SAB risk. So we think that's a really interesting, unique business. What we loved about the entrepreneur behind it, really understands the segment, really understands the corporates, and has built a great technology platform behind it.
Sure.
The third business is also playing into the SME trend, so you can see where we're heading in this direction. What they did is that they allowed SMEs to provide more clarity and transparency. So an SME goes on and says, I need this kind of facility. So they provide information about the SME. They say, this is the kind of business we are, this is what we're doing. And it's almost like a marketplace for SMEs. So they go on and they say, this is what I need. And then they invite lenders, whether they're banks or whether they're alternative lenders, to come on and offer them loans. So it actually reverses the process a little bit, so that banks have to pitch the SMEs while they should provide
so
loans.
instead of going around knocking on doors, an SME will just go on this platform, and then the financial providers, potential ones, come and decide who they want to support.
Correct, and provide their terms.
Yeah.
The fourth business, again, is playing into the SME space. They're called Emifin. They've leveraged Diners Card, which is a great credit platform. And what they do is that they provide a credit facility to an SME or to a trading business where they provide terms to, for example, a Unilever. So Unilever gets paid straight away and will be willing to provide more goods and services to, for example, Joe's Corner Shop, and that payment cycle gets shortened.
Okay.
So solving real problems.
Yes.
The fifth business was a bonus on the evening, because those four businesses I just spoke about were funded by Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Royal Bafokeng, who are one of the biggest shareholders in R5m, gave an additional R1 million to a great company called Heritage Capital, which are two young women entrepreneurs who are taking stakes in industrial companies and are growing them. So their mandate is to find businesses that they can grow and create jobs. So we loved that.
Well, overall, including the ones that did not win anything, were you impressed with the interest and involvement in development of new technologies?
We are astounded at the level of talent in South Africa, and I think it's great to see an event like this, especially at the moment when people may be feeling a bit down about South Africa. We all get a bit stressed. What people can know is that South Africa has got talent. We can compete with the best of the world, and I think when we see the creativity and the brains out there, we can be assured that we've got a good future.
And is this going to continue in the future, or was it
This is actually our second year of doing it.
Okay.
So it is going to continue. So last year we gave out 4 million rand. This year we gave out 5 million rand. So we see this initiative growing.
And what are you going to do with in terms of support besides the money that they got? Are you going to market, promote these companies, or they have to do it with them 1 million rands that they won?
So if we look at the companies that were part of the program last year, they get given a year's office space, free office space with us. And what happens, it's not just office space. They get a lot of mentoring, they get a lot of support, they get introductions to whoever they need to in the industry. So, for example, we had one of our businesses last year, Decorum, who are helping to formalize stokvels, who actually started franchising from our offices.
Already?
So we're
Within
incredibly proud of that
time.
in a short period of time.
No, excellent. And well done, Dominique. We appreciate the work that you have done, unearthing this talent and giving them support and opportunity to grow. We appreciate that too.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you are. South Africa has got talent, and this is somebody who should know. After all, she together with her colleagues, handed out 5 million rands recently. And it went to 5 companies that showed promise. We want you to also show promise by suggesting topics, giving us feedback. Write to us. Email address is tonight@modise.tv.